Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics. Y&R fans spot a telling clue as Kyle sends a message that points back to summer. The new year could bring summer's return to Genoa City. The young and the restless Summer has a new life in Milan, Italy, but recent family drama could bring her back to Genoa City. And after clues spotted by fans, her return might be sooner rather than later. Key takeaways: Summer left Genoa City in May of this year. She's currently working at Marchetti, a subdivision of Jabba, the latest business shakeups could have. Summer returning home. Important message: it's been 7 months since Summer Alison Lanier left for Italy. Although Summer is enjoying her new life and job in Milan, fans want her back in Genoa City. Well, they might get their wish. Recent clues seem to hint that Summer could be on her way home. First, a spoiler for this week reveals that Kyle, Michael Mueller, sends a message to Summer. While this is generating lots of buzz, some viewers aren't getting their hopes up. However, a recent clue on social media seems to indicate Summer is getting ready to return. On December 12th, Nathan Owens Holden posted an Instagram story from the set. While it seemed like an ordinary photo, when fans zoomed in on the background, they noticed what appeared to be a new set. The set seemed to be a boutique, possibly the Marchetti headquarters. While it's still unconfirmed if Summer is returning, these clues have fans excited. And when, and if Summer returns, she'll be at the center of the latest Newman vs. Abbott war. Summer's dramatic homecoming victors. Eric Bredin. Decision to use the AI software on Jabba will impact his family in more ways than he can imagine. Summer works at Marchetti, a subdivision of Jabba. Marchetti is her pride and joy, but now she might find herself out of a job thanks to her grandfather. Chances are, Kyle's message to Summer is to warn her about Victor's takedown of Jabba. With her grandfather making a mess of things, Summer might return to try to undo his damage. Not only will Summer's potential return add fuel to Victor and Jack's Peter Bergman long-standing rivalry, but it'll also shake up Kyle's life. Kyle and Claire Haley Aaron recently broke up, but he's hoping they'll get back together. However, any hope of a Kyle reunion might be derailed by Summer's return. Before Summer left for Milan, she admitted to still carrying a torch for Kyle. With Kyle single, Summer could use her return as the perfect opportunity to win back her ex, but she faced tough competition from her cousin Claire, who might not be ready to let go of Kyle. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. On The Young and the Restless, fans have learned to read between the lines because the most revealing moments often aren't delivered through grand speeches or dramatic confrontations, but through small, easily missed details. That's exactly why viewers are buzzing after spotting a subtle, yet telling clue in Kyle Abbott's recent actions. One that many believe points unmistakably back to Summer Newman. What looked, on the surface, like a simple message has ignited speculation that Kyle's heart may never have truly left Summer behind. Kyle has always been a character torn between impulse and intention. He speaks confidently about moving forward, but his behavior frequently betrays unresolved emotions. In this case, fans noticed that the tone, timing, and subtext of Kyle's message didn't align with someone who has fully closed the door on his past. Instead, it felt loaded, carefully worded, emotionally restrained, and deeply personal in a way that suggested one specific audience: Summer. The clue wasn't just what Kyle said, but how he said it. Longtime viewers immediately recognized patterns that have defined Kyle and Summer's relationship for years. When Kyle is genuinely done, he becomes detached, almost clinical. When he's still emotionally invested, his words soften, his defenses crack, and his choices grow conflicted. This message landed squarely in the latter category, setting off alarms for fans who know his emotional tells by heart. Summer, for her part, has always been Kyle's emotional North Star. No matter who else enters his life or how determined he seems to move on, Kyle's decisions have historically bent back in her direction. Their bond isn't just romantic, it's rooted in shared history, family entanglements, and a mutual understanding shaped by growing up in Genoa City's most powerful dynasties. That kind of connection doesn't fade quietly, and fans are quick to argue that Kyle's message proves it hasn't faded at all. What makes this moment especially compelling is its timing. Kyle sending a message that echoes his past with Summer suggests internal conflict at a point when he should, theoretically, be focused on the future. Instead of drawing a clean line forward, he's circling familiar emotional ground. For viewers, that's not accidental storytelling, it's deliberate foreshadowing. On a soap like Y&R, nothing is written casually, and emotional breadcrumbs are rarely meaningless. Fans have also pointed out that Kyle's message carried an emotional honesty he rarely extends to anyone else. With Summer, Kyle has always dropped the performative confidence and revealed his insecurities, regrets, and fears. The phrasing of the message measured but intimate mirrors the way he's historically communicated with her. During pivotal moments in their relationship, that parallel alone has convinced many viewers that Summer remains the emotional lens through which Kyle views his world. Critically, this moment exposes one of Kyle's most persistent flaws, his inability to fully commit to emotional closure. He wants resolution without reckoning, forward momentum without confronting the past. Sending a message that points back to Summer allows him to keep the door cracked open without explicitly admitting what he feels. From a character standpoint, it's classic Kyle, hesitant, conflicted, and quietly hopeful that circumstances will resolve his feelings for him. For Summer, this clue carries its own weight. She has long struggled with being the emotional constant in Kyle's life, while never quite being his final choice. If Kyle's message is indeed meant for her emotionally, if not literally, it reinforces a painful truth. No matter how far he roams, he always recalibrates around her presence. Fans sympathetic to Summer see this as both validation and warning. Validation that she still matters deeply, and warning that Kyle may once again pull her into unresolved emotional territory. From a storytelling perspective, this moment is a masterclass in restraint. Instead of spelling out Kyle's lingering feelings, Y&R trusts its audience to notice the nuance. The result is more engaging, more debatable, and far more emotionally resonant. Fans aren't just watching a story unfold, they're actively participating, dissecting clues, and projecting future outcomes based on character history. There's also an argument to be made that Kyle himself may not fully realize what he's doing. His message could be less a conscious signal to Summer and more an unconscious confession. That interpretation makes the moment even more tragic. Kyle may genuinely believe he's moved on, while his actions quietly undermine that belief. In that sense, the clue isn't just for Summer or the audience, it's a mirror reflecting Kyle's unresolved inner life. Of course, skepticism remains. Some fans argue that reading too much into a single message risks overinterpretation. After all, Y&R is known for red herrings and emotional misdirection. But even skeptics admit that the show's history with Kyle and Summer makes this particular clue hard to dismiss. When patterns repeat this consistently, they usually lead somewhere. Ultimately, whether Kyle's message leads to reconciliation, confrontation, or heartbreak remains to be seen. But what's undeniable is that it has shifted the emotional conversation. Fans are no longer asking if Kyle still has feelings for Summer, they're asking how long it will take before those feelings reshape the story. On The Young and the Restless, love doesn't vanish, it waits, resurfaces, and demands to be reckoned with. Kyle's message may have been quiet, but its implications are loud. And for many fans, it sounds unmistakably like Summer's name being called once again.